Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. All right, so I noticed my truck acting funny, and guess what? The leaf spring had broken a while back, and now it's just kind of like hanging out there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to a junkyard and get some newer ones. All right, and we'll see you when we come back. So we're here at the junkyard. We found a non-rusty set of leaf springs that'll fit my 2000 Xterra. So I'm gonna take those off. First step is we're gonna get these wheels off. Okay, you're gonna take the shock absorber off first. Then you're gonna go for these 4 bolts underneath here, the nuts actually. Yeah, once you get those 4 bolts loose, just pull up on these U-bolts right here. Sometimes you gotta pound them. But we're gonna save as much of this hardware as possible because my truck is rusty. All right, now it's good. The only thing holding it is this shock, and there's a pin that aligns all this stuff. So next step we're gonna do, and the reason why I'm not unhooking anything else like the stabilizer bar is because the stabilizer bar is gonna hold up the axle while I take these leaf springs loose. So next step, we're gonna either get it loose from here or back here, right here. Either way, it's gonna possibly release a little bit of energy. All right, so once you get this bolt loose, we're gonna get our hammer, trusty hammer, and see what we can do. It's not under a whole lot of force. We're gonna get it on out of there. Use a punch if you need to get it out. Well, I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand, but anyway, it's gonna be kind of a tight clearance back here, but it should be okay. We might have to drop this protector to access that bolt. We'll see. Okay, we are gonna run into access issues. It won't come out. But look, there's no springiness to it. There's no, it's not under tension. Once you take it off, tension here, and the truck is on the ground, or jacked up off the ground. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, it looks like these 2 bolts loose and this little bracket holder thing. We're gonna take that loose, and this metal pan will slide down, giving us access to that bolt. Once you get those 2 bolts out, this will slide right back and allow it to drop down. As you can see, I had to have a hammer, my hammer handle, and I worked it down inside there and it popped it loose. It's gonna be a problem getting it back in, but they've designed it to where once it reaches the approximate area, it will slide into place. All right, now let's get these bolts out. And here's the first one. I'm pretty sure if I pull it out, it'll just fall, but yeah, I'll do that off camera. Okay guys, the shackles. So take both bolts off the shackle, and then half the shackle comes off, and you're left with, there it is, the other part of the shackle. This is welded on or something like that, so it separates kind of easy. All right, last thing to do is find a way to pull that thing off. I might have to take this off. I'm at the junkyard, it should be easy. All right, it's out. Moving over to the next side of the truck. Should be easier because there's not as much gas tank in the way or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. All right, we got them out. So the bushings are good. The springs are good. They're not rusty. The ones I have on my Xterra right now are rusty. So from the junkyard, I got some way less rusty parts. There we go. So we're ready to put these in. There's nothing wrong with those leaf springs. Maybe a little bit of separation right here, but it's nothing. It's nothing compared to that separation. Those are old rusty ones. All right, we're gonna get rid of them. All right, so we're gonna spray some penetrating fluid on each of these bolts since they're so bad. And we're gonna let them set about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. And all these all these bolts gotta come off, and I got some inside underneath the bottom there too. Okay, so I will be replacing one side at a time, and the reason why is in the junkyard. When I got these, I took them both off, and what happened was I thought that the sway bar would keep everything straight. Well, it was still really wobbly. So number one, what I did is I kind of took some ratchet straps and to stabilize. I actually hung it, so I would suggest doing that. We'll see how it ends up. I might even have to fight with it if I have those on there, but basically first thing we're going to do is take that shock absorber loose, and then take the 4 bolts off the U bolts. We're going to do that first. Then we're going to take this one loose and then this one loose and replace them. Okay, they came out with not a big problem. I'm going to take the old U bolts out. I went ahead and got new ones. All right, not new ones, but ones from the junkyard. All right, so they're a little on there. They just need to be hammered off. There's a little bit of stress probably on it right there, but we'll get them hammered off. Next step, we got this bolt off, and now I have to hammer it out. All right, we're gonna get it all the way out by wobbling up and down on this and pulling it out. Okay, so out with the old, in with the new. Okay, and we're gonna mount it right here where it was. I'm probably gonna loosen this up because it has some tension on it I don't want, because I want to be able to line it up here. We have good bushings, and this is rust free, so it's a good one. So stand by. I'm gonna stab this side in first, and then that side after I loosen the shackle. Okay, so in order to get this to fit, I'm gonna need to use a ratchet strap on that shackle, and I'm gonna probably ratchet it through here or something like that. I'm gonna ratchet it forward to where I can line up this bolt, since I'm working by myself. Okay, so as I ratchet this, I should be getting some length. Well, I gotta readjust it. I'm gonna go through here instead. Okay, so I had to ratchet it real tight to get it to line these bolts up. So then I'm gonna stab it and get it in place and take the pressure off this ratchet strap. Okay, it's officially stabbed. I'm gonna tighten it up. I'm gonna finish tightening the other one, and then we're gonna get this axle. I'm gonna use a jack to get this thing up where I want it, because this little nub has got to line up with the hole underneath. Okay, since I have such a gap here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a piece of wood here, and so I can stab this U-joint that goes here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my jack. I'm gonna jack underneath here to where I have access to the 2 bolts below. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So as you can see right here, I have the jack under it. I have access to the 2 holes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack it, and I'm gonna rely on hope to get the U-bolts together. Okay, so I've jacked it up. I have a little bit of clearance. This little nub is not sitting in there. However, I have access to put some bolts onto this U-bolt on this side. So I'm gonna secure it on that side, and it will tend to line itself up once I release pressure and connect the other U-bolt. I'm gonna keep using the jack to assist me. All right, folks, a lot of manipulation with the jack, so you need a second jack. Notice I put my wheels underneath the vehicle in case it fell. It wouldn't have completely come down on me. Everything's good. I just need to tighten this up. I need to tighten the front one up. These U-bolts are tight already. And what I needed to do is what I did is I jacked this up when I had all 4 of those had nuts on them. I jacked this up, and then I took the pressure off that cargo strap, and then what I did is I moved the axle to get the little nub lined up onto the onto the axle from the leaf springs. All right, so hopefully it goes well for you. I'm going to work on the other side next. So it's best to use one side at a time. Don't try to drop this whole axle. Okay, drop one side at a time and work it one at a time. Okay, this is probably going to stabilize my ride a whole lot, since I don't know the bushings. How are the bushings on this one? They're okay. I mean, they're still intact. Yeah, the bushings are okay on this. It's just this. Wow. I always knew there was something wrong. It felt funny, but I never saw any cracks. But you know, I guess it's been cracked for a while. There's rust inside. So anyway, I'm going to show you everything put together as the last film. Okay, there's a mess. Don't forget to torque your lug nuts to 98 foot-pounds. And to get this shock back in, what I had to do was take that off. I actually took that mount off, sway bar end links, and then I took the sway bar loose right there to stab my my shock. But everything's tight, everything looks good. I'm gonna adjust the front. I'm gonna adjust the front torque shafts there, so I can make sure my ride height is correct. But anyway, if you like videos like this, I'm working on my Xterra a lot, so follow me on YouTube. I just fix it myself. Thanks for watching.